Misfits versus SMPR here, a rematch from the Swiss just yesterday. I'm Waypoint, joined by Achieves for game number 1 between these two teams. Achieves, thoughts on this matchup?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of interesting things. Obviously, I don't understand why everyone's saying the Misfits bandwagon. I think Misfits is just a good team. They have a very
wagon. It's fine.
It's fair.
Yeah, let them have a band. All right.
You know, that's fair. It's part of the brand. But either way, I feel like... oh, that's just... Oh, thank gosh. I was about to be like, you're kidding. That can't be how the first goal goes in. But there's some interesting things to take away off the bat right here. Misfits likes to play, if anyone remembers, how Cloud9 used to play with Squishy, Gimmick, and Torment. You know, they have a very aggressive third man in Matane, who's a strong put-away player, and then you got Cash and Arju, two very strong mechanical players who can really put a lot of pressure on defenses. On the other side of things, you got SMPR, very consistent. Cassio, Chaussette, Archie, all excellent challenges to the ball. That's going to play very well against a team that likes to be as aggressive and really try and push forward like Misfits does. So that's generally why I would say you tend to see a lot of long series, because SMPR is so consistent. And that one's going to find its way into the top right-hand corner. Cash going to open it up.
A nice setup here, and Cash with the money placement here off the ceiling. Arju put that ball down to Cash, and you got a bit of space in front of the box for a free shot. They'll put the first one in here in the first minute. Misfits in the blue, SMPR in the orange. They went to game 5 yesterday in a best of 5, this time a best of 7, so we'll see if we get the full series again today. But I like your thoughts about why this matchup is close, given the style, kind of just the way that their two styles fit in together against each other.
Yeah, they really do challenge the ball. I mean, Cassio for a long time is an excellent person to put behind the ball against anyone, and Chaussette can really come through and do some damage if he's having a good day, and he's got a lot of support behind him in Archie as well. There's a little bit of dynamic interaction, I feel, between Chaussette and Archie. They're both capable of a lot of the same stuff. Lay on towards net, saved by Matane. Matane, strong third man, great defender. You saw a lot of that when he was back on Galaxy Racer, so wouldn't expect anything different here.
The Arju in the corner, getting a bump on the offensive player. Now Matane peeling out of his half, picking up midfield boost, looking for a challenge and winning it. Getting the setup here to Cash, looking for another goal. This one goes straight into the midfield. Arju lofts it in front of the goal, and then chases down his own touch onto the wall. It'll be Archie, though, off the backboard. Bringing it out to midfield. Going for the dribble. Matane and Cash now on the two-man defense. And Matane over the top of midfield. Cassio's not going to reach it. That'll be goal number 2. Matane puts it in.
They're going to catch Cassio out here. Surprising in the midfield. He's kind of floating towards that corner, that hard skip out in the middle. He just doesn't realize that Chaussette is not behind him. Chaussette tries to sneak forward there and pick up that boost in the midfield. So Cassio, thinking he had a bit more of a safety net behind him, ends up getting caught out.
You're approaching halftime. SMPR yet to get on the board. Not too many it looks at net either. Only 2 shots from Archie. It's their entire offensive output here for game 1. Cassio puts this high. Here's Cash up. Upfield pass to Matane, who's looking for bumps instead. Archie will happily intercept, but chased up onto the wall. Misfits controlling the midfield right now. Arju with a miss. Matane just takes the shot a bit high off the crossbar. Follow from Cash, though. There was nobody on the backboard to break up this play.
It's always going to be a tough one when Matane gets to come through and beat Archie cleanly. Cassio has to rotate back, just goes one step too deep in the net. Even with Cash putting it right at him, he was just so far back, he was never going to have the time to close the gap to the ball. So that's the problem. If you just don't win the ball at the midfield line, you already know Misfits going to send the house at you.
Already a 3-goal game here. Misfits in control of the series opener. Arju trying to stop one. Chaussette gets it through him, and Matane, though, with a response into an empty backfield, looking for goal number 4 to drop it soft just off the post. Cassio, Chaussette now looking to get this one back out of their half, but at this point, Misfits, 1:45 left to go, and a pass in the midfield. Matane keeping it trapped in the box. A follow from Arju, putting the pressure on. Misfits is just he continues to knock on the door.
Yeah. It's generally what you should expect when you have a player like Cash. Oh, no. You thought that was going to be it for Archie.
Yeah.
They definitely had them all stuck in the net there. Could have been actually a good opportunity. They actually find it, right? You're kidding. What? That doesn't go in either? Oh, Oh, man.
If this goal was a pixel higher or wider, we'd be at 3-1 right now.
And where's teammate screaming in my ear, saying make the goal bigger.
Let's make it bigger. Here's Cassio over one. He's onto an empty backboard. Can he tap it across? Oh,
okay.
He actually pitches it onto Arju and into the goal there. 3-1.
To be honest, honestly, they deserved one. They've been putting such a good press here, and that's a wonderful shot from Cassio out of the corner. Pretty sure that was going to go roll into the net, even if it didn't get slammed in by the blue team there. So great pressure overall from Archie, Shostet, and Cassio. They give themselves an outside chance here with a minute left.
There's Matane looking for the response goal off the backboard. It is similar in kind, but there wasn't a defender to pinch it off of, so it doesn't go in. Obviously, got to get the defender over there, bud. Look for the big brain plays. But final minute of game number 1. Misfits back in control after letting one goal in on an onslaught. Just burning this clock down to try and take the lead in the series. Arju, though, getting hit by Shostet. Here's Cassio. Onto a backboard, cashes up for it, intercepts it before Shostet can reach it from the corner. The demolition onto Cassio in enemy territory will strengthen the back line. We'll see if Archie can take advantage of the space. Onto the 2, onto the corner, and back in. A 1-goal game.
Archie has been going for it all game. He finally gets rewarded here. Solid double tap. He had to stretch to get that one. Everything in the tank to get above the defense. All starts with that great challenge, though. And they will not go away quietly. SMPR, way to come back. Give yourselves a look with 30 seconds.
They aren't going anywhere just yet. We still got 30 seconds to play. Might as well be 4 years in Rocket League. Back in front of the box, Cash with a nice boom. This one onto the backboard. Shostet with an extension to midfield, transitioning onto offense. Archie's got space. There's 2 players on the backboard, and Arju's touch will push it back to the midfield line, but the infield pass on the backboard, uncontested.
Oh, the bump again.
Cash. Archie takes the shot. Arju gets up in time. Cassio's in position, looking for the pass back down to Shostet. Into the corner. Oh, but a one challenge from Cash sends it into the orange. Archie's got his work cut out for him here. Extends it to midfield, but his teammate's not quite able to reach it there. What a touch, but Misfits will take game 1.
Ooh, that was close. Shostet, you can't really be too upset at Shostet there, obviously. But, I mean, talk about the road back for SMPR there. You can't really blame Archie, 1 for 7. The fact that they even put together that many shots throughout the rest of that game is impressive enough, considering how this one started. So, great way to rally. Got to be scared going into game 2 if you're Misfits. You definitely felt like you were in the driver's seat, and then you just started getting to take it to task there. Game 2, I really don't want to see you change anything if you're a Semper, so should be interesting.
Yeah, and I think especially with how the back half of that game went there. You know, we kind of pointed out the only 2 shots in total on the team there for Semper in the first half of game 1, doubling that output here at the end. This was a wonderful adjustment from them there. Got the scoring department going. You know, if they could just get out some hammers and tap the goal slightly wider, then just fix all the props. So Cash playing defense. They've got all of Misfits trapped right now in the box. Cash with the dribbles. Matane tries to pop up and just slip the ball over the front line. Now Cash and Matane. Long ways down the field. Matane trying to dunk this. Archie to Cassio here. 2 players up for it. Double commit out of the backfield. There's going to be a retreating defense for Misfits, but Matane in the midfield will handle it just fine. Looked for some space, took control of the ball, slowed things down so his teammates could get back into their goal.
You really got to watch how Cash challenges the ball with the Dominus. I mean, that extra length really does give him just that little edge when it comes to taking balls up on an air dribble more often than not. He is a competent takeaway player to just beat a man at the midfield and get a transition started. That's definitely something to pay attention with him.
One thing that's also been, I think, telling so far in game number 1 and also here in game 2 is just backboard positioning from both teams right now. Anytime a team is getting the ball onto the backboard for free, they're getting an opportunity at the net. Because again, that one pings off the crossbar and comes down to the second man now off the backboard from Matane. Arju will place it high, but most of the time you see teams do backboard defense kind of gets locked down, and then teams start looking for other ways to attempt it. This one should be in, as Shostet misses off the backboard. He had no boost, but the follow-up there from Archie, and SMPR will get on the board.
It's okay. That one should have been a goal in the first place. Matane just caught the ball a little bit heavy. Cash was pushing forward, thinking they were about to go on offense, and, well, what can you say? You missed the first shot, but thankfully, since Cash committed so hard, way too over-aggressive, They do get their goal. It's okay. SMPR fine.
See how Misfits responds now. Trailing for the first time in the series. Catch approaches Archie, plays it underneath him. I'll play across to Casio, who's sitting cold-wheeled on the ground. Archie, the midfield, to the sky. Any challenge by Matane. Dropping back down to Shaw, set, pass 2, off the backboard, the bump on the third. Casio takes the shot, and Matane makes the stop. Archie with the extension, Cash with the counterattack, and Shawset's gonna make a save on the goal line.
They did get the boost steals, though, so this could be a bit of an extended stay here for Misfits. That's a demo, though. Big space in the midfield. Great interruption from Casio there.
In the box, Casio loses the challenge to Arju. Archie in the backfield. Trying to reach for this one, but Cash, the infield pass, gets blocked at the point of contact. Misfits finding aggressive attacks over and over again. Matane to turn on this open shot. He had to react to that one. Archie placed it well, but Matane gets up, finds the save. And now an extension back the other way for Misfits. Archie looking for his teammates. Matane covers him up again. They cannot get anything through this man.
No boost as well. Tough defensive sequence incoming here for Misfits.
Off the backboard, uncontested. Casio's shot is good, but Matane makes another stop.
Wow.
150 left to go. Misfits yet to score in game 2.
Wow.
After a pretty solid game 1, but here again off the backboard, catches up for it and wins the dunk. There's the tie game.
Okay, why does this get through? Casio's here in the midfield. He's got 17 boost, and he misses all of the pads on the way back. I was wondering why in the world he just let that bounce when he knows Cash is going to jump at that. That's why. He missed all the 12 boost pads. You can't go up for it.
Cash is able to get higher altitude. There's a bit of joust rules there that kind of affects the way the Rocket League challenge game will resolve itself. Cash is higher. He's going to be able to get that ball where he wants to go. And here he looks falling for another one. Matane now in the backfield on the touch from Archie has to fall all the way back to his half. 120 left to go in game 2, though. So Misfits took game number 1. Now struggling to find a lead here in game 2.
Tough ask as well, but they are starting to slip through that midfield line. Ooh, Archie giving a lot of ground. Cash almost able to drill one into the right side. Getting out in front on that challenge. Set up for Matane. Don't think this one's really got the legs. And I like the idea from Casio, but poor communication. Shawset wasn't headed forward. He was headed back, and that lets Misfits back in on the offense.
Shawset's just taking his time behind this ball, and Misfits is giving it to him, but again, one touch from Matane has eliminated 2.5 players as he was able to get the bump on the third man after third man made his touch. Shawset now coming off of the ground. Matane challenged off the wall. Cash trying to put it behind Casio here. A second touch, man. These follow-up challenges from Misfits, so difficult for SMPR to deal with. Back across the goal. Archie to try and get it to the side. Matane, though, there to receive. Limited boost to work with. 2 defenders here. Off the backboard, third man. Cash is coming in for it. Can't get it through them all.
Yeah, Cash realizing he was a step too far behind that play, was trying to go for the misdirection, go for the soft shot to the back post. Nice save from Casio with 5 seconds. Misfits, you got one more chance.
The pass across. Oh, Arju, if he just committed, he just needed to believe we'd be done right now, but no. Overtime in game 2. Misfits, fun fact, yet to lose in overtime in this event. They're currently 5-0.
Oh, very nice. We'll see if that trend holds. It's been a hard-fought battle here, though, as that's almost smashed into the top of the net. Great defense from Archie, and a smart catch from Shawset. Even if a little heavy, actually lets Misfits one more time come back through, like you said. Challenge game leveled up just a little bit at the end of regulation there.
Cash here in the corner. Stain and Cash on top of each other. Pile up on the backboard. Here's Shawset shooting to the far post, and Cash gets the block. Cash now, also with a savior medal. So much backline defense here from Misfits. Shawset and Matane piled up in the corner. Archie, a pop over one. The backboard. Cash bring it back down. Here's Matane with Arju behind him. Takes it to the goal. Archie off the backboard. Casio reaches across and beats Cash to the ball.
Oh, flat-footed.
Oh, Archie pops it high. Cash does not have the boost for this. Casio out of this corner. He's got Matane looking at him. Goes up for the challenge, but Cassio still manages to get it through. Now Arju off the back walls. Half a tank of boost. Can't beat Chaussette.
Oh, nice flick. Oh my goodness, what a bump.
The defensive bump there, but the follow-up, Matane puts it in. 3-man pressure. Misfits take 2 games in a row. They improve to 5-0 in this, or 6-0 in this event, and believe this one achieves 12-0 in overtimes this season.
Wow.
Yep,
well played, Misfits, throughout overtime. But man, I really did think Semper were going to work their way out of a jam there. When Cash beats your entire team and then you come through and stop the shot with the demo. But like you said, 3-man pressure. Great game overall from both teams. I think Semper did a real nice job. Just unfortunate that they couldn't take away some more of those touches away from Misfits. They allowed them back onto the offense a little too often. I mean, that's always the dangerous thing, but that's kind of how Misfits likes to play. We're going to keep pressuring you, and you're going to need to make a play to get past us in the midfield line, and just didn't happen enough.
Man, I just want to stop for a second and realize this is the first time I've casted these 2 teams playing against each other. And we've got Arju versus Archie. We've got Cassio versus Cash. And then Matane versus Chaussette. There's no symmetry with the third one. Just those 2 have been fun to like keep straight in my head the whole time.
You've been doing great.
Thank you very much. Misfits here making the desk look smart. And you know they're making them look like what they are. They're smart people over there. But so far, I mean, SMPR has kept this one close. This is not. It's been a 1-goal game every time. Here's an overtime, but wow, Matane getting the scoring started early here in game 3.
You do just have to appreciate Matane understanding that Cash is going to commit to a challenge there, and just recognizing that it's not going to go hard off the backboard. He's too far on top of the ball, and they're definitely in time. So that's just great recognition from Matane, supporting Cash's air dribble there. He puts himself in a decent spot to make a play if one comes his way, and he delivers.
It's a good read too on the challenge itself. I mean, given what the directions they're coming from there in the air, the high likelihood is that it pings kind of laterally off to the walls, or it drops straight down onto him. And if it pings laterally, he's gonna have plenty of time to reposition. The chance that it Cash straight loses the challenge and it goes over Matane's head, highly unlikely there. It's an easy play to commit to if Cash gets the touch. He does. They're able to take an early lead here. Misfits looking for game 3, looking for goal number 2. It'll go in. Arju on the infield pass.
Slipped through Chaussette here on the back line. He's having to rotate all the way back, and he actually does a pretty good job, but I'm trying to understand this deep cut out to the opposite end of the net there. I mean, if he just heads back on the center line, he might make that save, but I guess if he cuts back on the center line, he doesn't really have a lot of mobility to either side of the net. So maybe Chaussette just wanted to be able to swing across there, and he'll make the save pending the kickoff, but a little bit of a hole dug early on, unless Archie can put this one in. And indeed, he's just going to squeeze over the top of the defense, and he will get him right back towards the road to success.
There's 2 defenders in front of him, but Archie holds the boost the entire time. He knows that boost trail. There's no gaps in it there. He committed to that shot, believed that the defenders would miss given the speed of the advance. He predicted correctly. Semper on the board. Game 3. Very important game for them, too, after dropping the first 2 in the series. A loss here would force them to reverse sweep. An important game to win here. Matane puts it high. Here's Chaussette with Archie behind him. And now Cash to the sky. Matane demolishing Chaussette in his own territory. Cassio. Look at the setup here. Matane will loft forward, but they've kind of stranded Arju on the back wall. If they'd had a follow-up, that was an open net. Love the misdirection. Getting the Misfit defenders to pile up.
Nice little stutter step from Cash there on the back wall, realizing that Cassio didn't have a pass anywhere in the arsenal of moves there. Just let him hit it off him and take it down cleanly to work their way out here. But now you're seeing Semper really dig their heels in at this midfield defense. They've been able to cycle back through, grab the boost in their corner, grab the boost to the midfield line, and now Misfits kind of having to play that dump and chase game to get out, and that's really where you have to depend on players like Cash and Arju on the air dribble. Chaussette ricochets one off the post.
That was a brilliant setup from beginning to end. The shot just barely wide of the goal. Nearly undefendable play if it's on target. Here's Cash. Taking it over the top. Shawsett gets up for him. Cassio dives onto the wall. Cash hits the brake so he can go for a round 2 here. Got a full tank of boost as well.
Oh, don't hit that, Archie.
And here comes Matane with space and in. 3-1 Misfits.
Bad touch from Archie here, to be quite honest. Rotating back, he can see Shawsett. I guess he just never saw his teammate. I did go to Archie's camera. He never saw his teammate back behind there. I think his name tag was blocked off by his own car. So I can kind of understand why Archie's trying to take that one away, but that's just poor communication. If Archie knows his teammate's back post, they're fine.
Yes, yeah, 100%. That's the sort of touch you make when you assume there's a follow-up shot right on top of you, and if you just put the ball anywhere other than where it currently is, you might be saving it. Understanding that you're signing yourself up for a really difficult follow-up here. Either way. Communication just so difficult. And again, it moves as fast as Rocket League here. Nice touches from Matane through 2 and now through the 3rd.
Big goal.
Can he find it by himself? Puts it on target and in. Matane 4-1 dominant performance.
Yeah, they're just trying to press here. They know they need to score. They don't feel like trying to have to push for 2 goals. They wanted to try and squeeze Misfits into their own half, really see if they could get that cycle going through the midfield line again, but unfortunately, quick breakout from Matane, wide open, and yeah, you kind of have to sign off on game 3 here.
Pass out to Cassio here.
Or do you?
Come back in the last moment. Arju! Okay, Cash gets him out. That was... Those are close. That's all right. Don't worry about it there. 3-goal game still with a minute and a half left to go. A lot of space here. Matane taking onto the backboard. He's got Cassio beat, and he's got Cassio stranded in the air. But Arju doesn't find a very solid follow-up here, and Archie will take it away from him. Looking to pass to Cassio. Gets it through 2, through 3. Shot is wide, and Arju's got the cleanup. Matane with the connection back. Can Arju chase it down? Look to dunk Archie, but not quite going to reach it.
Always put that pressure on Archie right there. Make him make the stop. Even if you can't actually reach the ball before he does, you have to force him to make that touch so you can try and have the follow-up in the midfield. Make it easy for the guy behind you, but well done here for Misfits. Again, they're having to work pretty hard to get a lot of these goals in. I mean, Semper playing a solid game. They just don't quite have the firepower on the offense to really break down that Misfits defense.
Arms on the backboard, not going to be enough. It's the frontline defense. Falls back and covers up the shots. Archie through this guy, nice fake, but Cash, look at him just follow him boost to boost. I'm on the auto cam right now on the wide shot. That was gorgeous. The following up together and then turning their cars back down together. Man, so I agree with you. I think that it's felt like a pretty even match. It's just been a few moments of chess here and then a few mistakes as well from the defense from Simba.
Yes, cue mistake here. Shawsett, no boost. Difficult to time, especially when that ball takes the hard kick off the ceiling like that with a lot of pace. You don't have a lot of speed going across, so can't really get a good touch on it, and you don't hit it on the nose. It's just... You don't want to say unlucky, but that's tough to handle if you're Shawsett and just didn't have the ability to get the job done there to keep them maybe within something, so... Game 3, 100% deserved win there for Misfits. Definitely playing the better game. Caught him out a couple times on the back foot. A few mistakes here and there. Going back to miscommunication between Archie and Cassio on the back post to let in another one. And you can't really say too much else. You know that Semper's playing well, but they just don't have the challenges on their own half. Keeping this one up.
Respecting of the golden rule. These teams do know they have another game to play, at least one more.
Oh, they wanted to pinch.
Look at the pinch. That was, what a treat. That was fun.
You know, when you know they've all just stopped and they're just waiting for the ball to touch the ground, yeah, give it a shot. See if it works. Great play.
Look at that. Man, we look at that like, oh, look at this wonderful exhibition. Give it 6 months. That's the meta. That's the leading
you
shot
saw a pinch yesterday in the grid. I believe it was with Semper. I mean, they had a pretty sick pinch goal between, I think it was Shawsett and Archie. So I feel no strangers to that.
I feel like this was also a tactical golden rule from Semper, as they have taken a timeout. So we will see them. They're earning themselves a little bit of extra time to talk here by keeping the ball up at 0 seconds when the game's already over. We know we're losing. Let's just keep it up and use this time to talk, and then start our timeout right afterwards. This was some big brain plays from them.
And if I'm Simper and I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, man, what do we got to do? The answer is, boy, you got to get up on top of those challenges. You're going to have to make them take a lot of those air dribbles that they're coming out of their own half with, and you just got to make them start going for fakes to bring it down lower. Of course, that opens up the door for flip resets, but they just don't have the follow-up speed that Misfits has had on those secondary challenges. Heck, that game opened up with Cash on an air dribble, and I mean, Matane was just right there, camped under it, and he just beat them all to it and put a powerful shot into the top of the net.
Yeah, I think Misfits is also. I feel like this is a weird piece of analysis, but they're using their toolkit more fully. We've seen solo dribbles, seen infield passes, seen backboard reads, seen pinch reads. You know, not include like they got that first goal. I would call something like a challenge read, maybe a better way to describe it than a pinch read. Misfits is bringing every single tool. They're not sticking to one move. They're not spamming their special here. They're using the full kit available to them, and I think it's making it really difficult for Simper to. It's going to make this timeout, I think, really difficult. Like, how do you actually analyze what are we messing up, where are we messing up, other than just play better Rocket League, lol. You know,
just hit it good.
Yeah, just stop losing. So, with how well-rounded Misfits looks right now, this is a very difficult situation for Simper.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot to ask here for 4 straight, but they've done it before. It's never really gone quite the way they would like, but this is probably at this point going to look like one of those series. It's like, oh, they blew them out 4-0, 4-1, maybe 4-2, but they're tight 4-0s, 4-1s, and that's unlucky if you're Simper, because it's not like they're playing terribly. Let's be honest.
Well, yeah, tight up until we'll call the last game 5.
The last game was a bit of a blowout. It got out of hand a little early. It's true.
Yeah, no. Well, and even the first game, I mean, it was 3-0 early in the game, and we were like, okay, cool, this one's over, and then Simper found a way to come back and make it a 3-2, but still, I don't know. It's been one of the more, it's been a very entertaining game nonetheless. And Simper doesn't appear to have any glaring, oh my goodness, stop. I don't have an answer or any mistakes that I'm like, this is just so punishing. This is such a bad thing. There's just been a few mechanical errors, and Misfits has punished it every single time.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, this is what are you supposed to do? Okay. See, Arju's not even actually trying to score that right there. I mean, he literally just jumped to dump it into the corner, and now Misfits gets that extra time of it sitting around to see if they can win the possession back. Ultimately fruitless, but that's the tough part. They care more about hanging onto the ball than they really do about putting it on target. Shot set again, just off the mark.
Casio gets this away. And Arju has had a few touches. You pointed out him there challenging in enemy territory, but not even actually trying to score. Just trying to move the defense, saying, hey, you get over here, challenge this ball, please, because I've already got a player over there, and he'll give the ball back to me, and then we can score. His kind of repositional play has been really strong this entire series as Cash goes up for a juicy tap. Broken up at the point of contact, but they're still firing on all cylinders.
It was great defense from Chaussette, and there you go. Strong touch, force the hard reset of the positioning on the pitch. Give yourself that breathing room. Dish to Casio, and oh man, another one wide.
Misfits got a bit confident in their positioning. Simper had an opportunity, but if there is one mistake is I think a punishing thing to say, or an aggressive way to describe the problem here, but there has been a few times I was like, man, if you could just shoot just slightly more accurate, this would be a much closer series.
Yeah, it's kind of like chess analysis, you know. There's a great move, there's a good move, there's an inaccuracy, which isn't a bad move, but there was a better move, and then a mistake, which is just a wrong move.
yeah. Don't want to punch too hard. Here's Matane though through the sky with 2 players in front of him. Cassio's going to go for this. He's going to get it for free, but Cash, look, did you see that? He's retreating and says, let's just pop up and take this away from the third man there. Like their awareness of where the ball is on the field and what they can do here. Now grounded in net. Man, Cassio did have kind of a free look at that one. Again, pinging it off the corner.
Oh, nice job from Archie there to work that ball out through the midfield. See if they can hang on to it. It's a smart play. Let it come down on the dribble.
Ooh.
Just missing the demo.
What?
And it's quick back the other way. Soft bounce, and it goes under Matane. Matane thought that ball was going up. Came back a lot flatter. Cash racing off the ceiling. And a little bit of fireworks for a game that's kind of been a bit of a stalemate for the first 3 minutes.
What an explosion from a stalled, like, flat-footed defense to players like almost double committed in here. The pressure just continued. Once they got on offense, they didn't stop. Misfits back on top.
That's just really nice shooting from Arju here. I mean, Cassio, you have to defend the middle of the net or the far side right there. You don't have a choice. And Arju just, you know, a great placement all the way back behind him.
Unsavable. With the power and the speed he put on that ball, even if the defender waits. If Cassio just sits there,
if he freezes back post.
If he reacts, he has to predict the top post as Arju gets it off of his own post and then off of his nose again.
What? Now that's just annoying. If you're Simper right there, you're like, you gotta be kidding me. He made a poor touch and then he still squeezed it past the midfield line.
Why are there posts on their side?
Yeah.
Please stop.
It feels that way, that's for sure.
Oh, and Cash's retreating steals. I don't like getting interceptions when you're positioned at midfield in the second man. You're like, okay, I'm gonna dive across, gonna put myself into the first man here. That's one thing. Cash is in the third man, rotating out of enemy territory and goes, oh, you're passing through my, like, I'm in this neck of the woods. Let me break this pass up on my way out of there. So annoying to deal with from the Semper side of things. And now 1 minute left. Semper needs to win this game. They have to win them all out. They have to play for game 7.
And they're certainly not out of it. They're definitely under a bit of pressure here, but manageable and great save. Chasset just able to poke that one above the net. There's the big clear. You're going to see them push real hard here and get aggressive in the midfield, even if they don't have a lot of boost, trying to make something happen. Off
the wall, 25 seconds. Onto a backboard, uncontested, and Archie extension to break up the follow-up.
Oh, miscommunication.
Wants to turn on this one, and it gives Matane way too much space. This one coming back down. Arju calls off Cash, pings it through one, looking for bumps on Cassio. Oh, he's paving the way onto the backboard. Cash is there, gets another bump, and Arju, just, you know, at this point, playing keep away is going to be good enough. Clock is expired. Just got to put it in the ground, and Misfits will take the sweep.
What a show from Misfits here. Had to work for it, obviously, but boy, you want to talk about across the board?